What's going on, everybody? Brandon back here with another review from 8 weeks to Sealfit routine. Today I'll be covering the completion of week 2, and let's get into it. So pretty much week 2, definitely felt the intensity ramp up compared to the intro of week 1. Week 1 focused mainly on lower body with a ton of squats. Going into week 2, not nearly as many squats, at least weighted anyways. And week 2 seems to focus more on upper body, primarily in the shoulder area. And just looking back at it, the first 3 days pretty much felt like a good even pace. But then come around Thursday and Friday, I definitely felt the strain of everything involved, especially Friday. It's been a while since my shoulders and upper body in general have just been fried from strength training. And throwing in on new routines, there's going to be a lot of strict bar presses, push presses, and push jerks. And the first two I've been used to in previous training, but the push jerk motion was a little bit new to me, especially when throwing the bar up and getting into a strict hold and then pushing off with your legs to get the heavier weight up. Took me a minute to get used to that motion, but once I got it down, I was able to get a good bit of weight up. So a common thing that I've noticed from week 1 and 2, the lineup for the week structure is pretty much the same. Not necessarily a bad thing. So pretty much going into Monday, it's primarily a strength day. So that's one of the days where you're going to have whatever exercise you're doing with a lot heavier weights, and they're pretty much always five sets with 5 reps. Tuesday is more of endurance, so you're not really going to use too much heavy weight, but you're going to just be doing more of a workload. Wednesday, you're back to strength training. Thursday, which I found to be my favorite day, being an endurance athlete, is pretty much a mixture of grinder endurance PT training. And pretty much just from looking that up, it's primarily just 20 minutes of 5 or 6 different body weight exercise routines with a higher rep range. And for this routine, it doesn't really tell you too much from the book of what exactly you're going to be doing. It just tells you grind your PT. So it's up to each person just to go online or go onto the Sealfit website to find out exactly what they want to do. For week 1, I found one off of a website that was recommended, and then going into week 2, I just kind of created my own based off the dynamics of the first week. So for the second week, for example, I threw together one, and it was just try to do as many of them, or many routines as you can, AMRAPs, I guess, of lunges, push, bar press, leg raises, Russian twists, push-ups, and squats. So I would do 20 reps of each and then repeat the routine for 20 minutes to see how far I could get. And within a 20-minute restriction, I got about 4 sets of doing those exercises. And then after the grinder PT was some LSD low slow distance training. And pretty much for that, it's just traveling at a good pace, but typically with weights. So it tells you, hold like a weight and go on a treadmill and put it at, 10-minute interval with random, distances or speed training, just holding a weight and slowing down from the go, go, go motion and, just going a longer distance with a steadier pace. For that training, pretty much I just got on a stair climber and I held up a 50-pound curl bar. Pretty much held it on my shoulders and just went up at the distance. So yeah, I found Thursdays are pretty much my favorite day for endurance training. And then pretty much Friday is finished off with another strength training day. And one of my favorite routines actually from the week, I believe it was Wednesday, but it was a AMRAP routine. And again, the endurance athlete came out in me, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. It was about 20 minutes of, I believe it was, hold on here, I'll pull it up. It was 20 minutes of 82 feet walking lunges, followed by 10 burpees, and then you would jog briskly back the 82 feet that you did the lunges off of. So pretty much in one round, about 82 feet of walking lunges was about 24 walking lunges, followed by 10 burpees. And I was able to get 10 sets off of that within 20 minutes. So I really felt the competition come out in that routine and enjoyed it thoroughly. So going into week 2, again, I felt more of a strain on my shoulders because I'm just not used to pushing an excessive amount of weight continuously in strength training for my shoulders. It's just been nothing I've trained as an endurance athlete for OCR races or anything like that excessively. But for pull-ups and everything else involved body weight exercises, it's pretty much the same thing. Throughout each day, you'll do different sets of different body weight rep ranges, and it's nothing too excessive. Down in the description below, same as the first video, I have a general rep range of what all will be covered for most all the exercises, just to kind of give an idea of what you're getting into without giving out too much of the actual routine away. So yeah, that's it. That's week 2. Going into week 3, feel pretty good about the routine so far. The only thing that I'm kind of missing just from a endurance athlete standard is more of the long distance running that I'm used to. Typically through most weeks, I've ran anywhere from, in one go about 5 to 10 miles. And the longest distance covered in this training so far is about a quarter of a mile. So pretty much I've just been mad sprinting that because that's just not really that hard of a distance for me. And most of the rep ranges, again, they're just not too hard, but there's a lot of it. So, I mean, that kind of makes up for the grind of everything. The longer time limit for all the exercises hasn't really gone up any. Warm up and then, the base workouts and then cooling off with a little bit of yoga still typically takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And yeah, so feeling good about it going into week 3, and we'll see what week 3 has to bring. Until next time.